Looking for reliable forex analysis? Check out ForexScope for daily forecasts and insights to help you trade smarter. Link in the description and comments.
Ukraine's Prime Minister Yulia Severydenko has unveiled plans for a sweeping audit of state-owned enterprises, including the crucial nuclear power company Energoatom, signaling a resolute step up in the nation's battle against corruption. This decisive action comes at a time of immense national challenge, with the Prime Minister emphatically stating that during the full-scale war, when the enemy destroys our energy system every day and our people live under constant outage schedules, any corruption is absolutely unacceptable. Her declaration, made via a social media post accompanied by a video statement, underscores the gravity of the situation, emphasizing that in these most trying times, unity is paramount and the eradication of corruption is a matter of honor and dignity, a profound responsibility owed to the nation's defenders. This initiative follows earlier governmental actions, including the dismissal of 2 ministers and the imposition of individual sanctions on those allegedly implicated in a kickback scheme that came under official investigation. The comprehensive audits are intended to thoroughly scrutinize state-owned companies, aiming to preempt any further irregularities and solidify public trust. The announcement has reverberated across Ukraine and its international partners. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, in his own statement following a call with German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, assured his German counterpart that Ukraine would undertake all necessary measures to bolster partner confidence. This pledge comes after Merz himself had stressed the critical importance of combating corruption in the war-torn nation, a sentiment echoed by other European leaders who view the fight against graft as a fundamental requirement for Ukraine's European aspirations. The European Commission, while acknowledging the ongoing investigations, has highlighted that the very fact these probes are taking place demonstrates that Ukraine's anti-corruption institutions are operational and functioning as intended, a positive indicator within the broader EU accession context. However, the situation has also drawn sharp criticism from some quarters, notably from Hungarian leaders who have seized upon the allegations to advocate for an immediate halt to EU financial aid to Ukraine. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán, in a strongly worded post, described Ukraine as a wartime mafia network and declared that Hungary would not contribute taxpayer money to such a system, threatening to block further assistance. His foreign minister echoed these sentiments, questioning the accounting of EU funds and calling for an end to financial support for Ukraine. This unfolding situation occurs against a backdrop of broader international discussions regarding financial support for Ukraine. EU finance and economy ministers have been actively deliberating on a proposed €140 billion reparations loan for Ukraine, a plan that has encountered some delays due to concerns over associated legal risks. Despite these hurdles, there is a palpable determination among many member states to proceed, with the concept of utilizing frozen Russian assets as collateral gaining traction. UK and Canadian officials have reportedly expressed openness to a similar approach, indicating a coordinated effort among allies to ensure sustained financial backing for Kyiv. The European Commission views this loan mechanism as the most feasible and rapid means of bridging Ukraine's funding gap without imposing a significant fiscal burden on member states. Although ongoing engagement is necessary to address remaining concerns, particularly from countries like Belgium, alternative funding models, such as the EU borrowing funds directly or providing grants, have also been discussed, but the reparations loan backed by frozen Russian assets is widely seen as the most practical and immediate solution. Beyond the critical issue of corruption and financial aid, developments in other European nations are also capturing attention. In the Netherlands, political negotiations to form a new government continue, with representatives of centrist parties appointed as informators to guide the process. Although a clear coalition majority remains elusive, meanwhile, France has marked the solemn 10th anniversary of the 2015 Paris terror attacks, a somber occasion where President Emmanuel Macron paid tribute to the victims, acknowledging that the pain remains a decade later. In a separate development, the Czech Republic's Prime Minister-elect, Andrej Babis, a prominent businessman, has refused to divest his extensive business empire, insisting he will resolve any conflict of interest in accordance with the law. This stance has drawn scrutiny from the Czech president, who has emphasized the constitutional requirement for a clear resolution of potential conflicts of interest before an appointment can be made. Adding to the complex geopolitical landscape, Russian opposition figures have voiced their dismay and anger over the European Union's decision to tighten visa regulations for Russian citizens, while EU officials explain the move as a response to Russia's actions. Critics argue that such measures unfairly target ordinary citizens and may prove counterproductive in fostering a united front against the current regime. The EU's foreign policy chief has stated that initiating a war and expecting to travel freely in Europe is difficult to justify, but many within the Russian opposition believe that these restrictions fail to differentiate between the actions of the government and the desires of the populace for change. This intricate web of diplomatic maneuvers, domestic political shifts, and international solidarity underscores the multifaceted challenges and ongoing efforts shaping the global narrative.